Oh my god, this heat attack. Did you see the frames? +9 on block. Eddy falls into the category of characters who still play Tekken 7. But Eddy is quite different from his old self. They've changed a lot of stuff. What's up guys, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. Welcome back to another amazing video about another DLC character. I feel like Eddy's been a little bit overshadowed by the fact that this patch had like a gazillion fucking problems and gave us a pretty shitty battle pass, but that's for another video. In this video I want to talk about Eddy, the newcomer, and it's kind of nice that with everything that's negative about this patch, it's nice that he doesn't fall into the classic OP DLC category. Although I haven't quite figured him out yet, it's still very early, I haven't played him in ranked or anything. But from all the labbing I've done, it seems pretty apparent that Eddy is just not very strong, in my opinion. I would not be surprised if he ends up being pretty mediocre, or maybe even weaker than he was in Tekken 7. There are a couple of people walking around saying like, oh my god, he's so fucking OP. Have you guys seen his demon paw? Forward free form, the fact that it beats jabs? And it's true, I think if you jab into this, he'll beat your jab. But at the same time, it's like, this is not a demon paw. When we say demon paw in Tekken, we talk about moves that pretty much dominate neutral. Check out Jin's demon paw and how he stands 5 meters away from you and Jin still controls your ass and your cock. He controls you, even if it doesn't look like it. He stands 5 meters away and he threatens you with electric or demon paw. And demon paw has infinity reach, and you can't really step it. This does beat jabs, but it has less reach. This is also due to the nature of the input of this attack. It doesn't start with a forward input. Due to Tekken's system, if a move starts with a forward input, it just realigns more naturally. But this move, yeah, beats jabs, doesn't have that much reach, not like a demon paw. If you block it, there's no demon paw pushback, and he remains at -9 right in your face. He's completely given up his turn. And then very non-demon paw, he loses to sidestep both sides. It doesn't track to one direction. So I'm just saying, that is one shitty ass demon paw. But it's not a demon paw. Another thing, I'm gonna get into everything, but another thing people think is really strong, and this one is strong, is his forward free. This is a very evasive, long-range low, but does a chunk of damage, +6 on hit, -13 on block, and if he counter hits, he gets this in heat. And now, you know, it's a big old combo. It's about 80 damage. This is not broken, by the way, but it's strong. I mean, when we compare to what other characters do in this game, this is strong, but I'm gonna get into his heat later and how you don't really have to fear him when he's in heat. Not compared to your average Tekken 8 character. Eddy falls into the category of characters who still play Tekken 7. But Eddy is quite different from his old self. They've changed a lot of stuff. But forward free is a good move. Don't get me wrong. And up forward 4 remains a good move. This still wall splats. It used to knock down in the neutral. It would knock you down, so you would run up and apply some Oki on your ass. But in this game, you spin around at -12 and he applies a 50-50 on you. But they nerfed his 50-50, and what was already a pretty underwhelming 50-50 is now the worst 50-50 in the game, I would say. It's the only 50-50 that is more in the defender's favor than the aggressors. I'm gonna get into that. But let's just start with the fact that he might be weaker than Tekken 7. He seems mediocre. Again, this is early, but what I'm saying is these people saying he's S tier, I'm just like, I just don't see it at all. We can start with his classic tools, like down for 2, for example. This used to be a counter hit launcher. It now knocks down. I don't know why this is not allowed to launch on counter hit anymore. And then, let's see. Down back 1+2. This used to be a launcher. I shit you not. Without counter hit, this mid backswing blow that is safe on block would launch your ass. Really good. Like, in terms of being a defender, you would see Yon Ding play this character in Tekken 7, and being a defending character as him, he was really good, Eddy. He would have one of the best backdashes. They've nerfed it, but he had one of the best ones. And he could either have you whiff and punish you with this, or he'd create a whiff with this and launch you. Now he gets a guaranteed ground throw. This is just not as good. Or he would backdash and do sidestep 3-4. This was the equivalent of a Lee back 4 that launches a normal hit. This has been changed to high. This used to be mid. So again, this is a big nerf because anyone trying to get in on Eddy now, for example, a Kazuya player, I'm gonna know about this and I'm gonna go in with Tombstone Crusher, which is gonna evade you and knock you the fuck out. Everyone is just gonna go in with this stuff now to fuck Eddy up. Another pretty big nerf is the fact that Relax used to be super annoying to deal with. Just like Xiao Yu's AOP, you needed very specific attacks like Tsunamis, back 2 to hit him out of it. But now, when anytime Eddy goes into Relax or does a move into Relax, he has standing status. I can simply take my 1+2. Anything I want, I can do to your ass now, Eddy. That's bad for Eddy, but makes the counterplay easier, obviously. And then, pretty nice, in Tekken 7, he had a mid string like this. That was safe. Back 2 free. Mid, safe on block. It's now -11 on block. So that's pretty bad, I think. Talk about the good stuff, maybe. Yeah, let's talk about the good stuff. But in general, Relax is a weaker stance than it used to be. You can now sidewalk when you're Eddy. This is the first game where he has a sidestep. I shit you not. You can sidestep now, thank God. And you can combine sidestep with handstand to get a gigantic step. So for example, I can step left handstand, and I get a huge sidestep, right? And you can do it to the other side as well. Forward 1+2, left handstand, back 1+2, right handstand. That's pretty nice. Pretty cool. Can get a big sidestep into a punish. And then 1-3 is a 10 frame into Relax. +7 Relax. Those of you who've never played Eddy, his big 50-50 is from Relax. He'll go into Relax, he'll do 3-4 for a mid launcher, and then he used to have slippery kicks for a low launcher, but they removed that, so now you're gonna hell sweep. And then you'll scream Kung Lao and get tokens. We're gonna get into that. The 50-50 is weaker though, has to be said. But they made it easier for you to access your 50-50 situation. 1-3, Relax. The problem here is that the defending character can actually backdash this mix-up now. Even on hit, can backdash block this. And again, on hit, if he wants to hell sweep, you actually have time on hit to backdash this option as well. And punish Eddy. That is not super good for Eddy. But better is that Eddy can do upward 4 into mix-up. The upward 4 will still wall splat at the wall, as I told you before. And this is his big neutral control move. Because this has long reach, mid, homing. It's a good neutral tool, right? And on hit, now he's +12, and you have to take the 50-50. You have to take that 50-50. They nerfed the Relax in that if Eddy wanted to keep it safe, especially at the wall, he could do Relax 4 to knock down wall splat you. And he remains safe. That is unfortunately gone. He has to commit to something more unsafe now. But the 50-50 as I told you, it's the weakest 50-50 in the game. Because if Eddy opts for his mid launcher from Relax, don't get me wrong, if I get hit, I get launched, right? If I block it, Eddy gets launched, right? So that's a 50-50, right? A true 50-50, because if he gets it, I die. If I get it correct, he dies. But the problem for Eddy is that when it comes to the low option of the 50-50, if he gets it, he gets 30 damage. If I get it, he dies. This is the only 50-50 in the game when we assemble the mid and low outcomes, and it's more in the favor of a defender. It's fascinating, actually. And again, the low here is beaten by a backdash. He needs clean hit to trip you. If I'm standing a little bit away, it doesn't trip me, and you can punish him. Boom. So basically what you want to do against this character is typically, once he does a string into Relax, you want to back away a little bit. You don't really want to sidestep the character. And this is like other people have pointed out, like FiDX. It's one of the first things I checked with Eddy. What does his down for the one do? And his down for the one tracks to both sides. So it's homing. He's not the only character to do this. It sounds like it's OP when you look at it in a vacuum, but it's not OP. Raven has this as well. And it has better frames, by the way. This is -3 and has a high follow-up that's very slow. Doesn't have a mid follow-up. Slow high follow-up, -3 on block, but it is homing. But it's actually the same with his health sweep. It's homing. But here comes the clean hit range again. You're meant to back away from Eddy. You're not meant to stand up close and sidewalk him constantly. But the problem is he's very, very vulnerable to sidesteps. So having a homing down for the one might be something you need, to be honest. And upward 4 is homing, obviously. But as I explained to you, yeah, homing can be a problem for him. Let's just show this straight away. Back 1-4, this used to be a big problem in tag 2. Because on counter hit, he got back 1-4 into flare. This is now guaranteed again, but it's no longer a launcher. He gets this now. Headbutt. And it's quite a bit of damage. And back 1 is basically homing as well. The problem here for Eddy is just like tag 2, that the counterplay is very strong. After you block back 1, step right. And it always whips. Okay. I can't do a standing free though. Yeah, you gotta do back 2-2. You can also jab. So yeah, not super good. Not super good. And back 1 also has homing, but the problem is this has very poor reach. It's very stubby and it's -7 on block. It's just not very good. And then his heat is kind of crap in my opinion. If you just look at it very superficially, you'll be like, my god. Did you guys see that forward free on counter hit? So let's say he's trying to threaten me with forward free. He's trying to get that to counter it so he gets 1,000,000 damage. And then what he's also doing is 3-4. Oh my god, this heat attack. Did you see the frames? +9 on block. Normal hit launcher. Well, this is looking like the heat good stuff, right? My god, so he has that as well. And then, my god, does he have a huge mid heat smash as well? You bet your ass he fucking does. Holy shit. The problem with all of this is that, yet again, he loses super hard to sidestep. And I think every heat smash in Tekken 8 should be like this, to be honest. Heat smash should not be homing. Every heat smash should be like that. But so everything is super steppable. The 4-4-3 they tell you is God mode is very steppable. 3-4, no tracking whatsoever. Heat smash, no tracking whatsoever. It's very fair, actually. If you're gonna have gigantic frames on a 3-4 or on a heat smash, make it steppable. This is good game design, in my opinion. Like, Eddy needs reads on you. Or he needs you to respect him by doing up forward 4. Respect me. So, I'm just... Yeah, all in all, Eddy is quite changed. Like, so many of his legendary iconic tools are very different. His handstand now, it's so committal as well. Like, if you do back 1-4, you can no longer go back to neutral. You have to go to handstand. And in handstand, they've removed, you know, a classic when he's in a handstand and they hold down and he goes down super close to the ground and then he comes up with that spiraling cyclone launcher. All of that shit is gone. Now, if you tap down, you go into relax. You leave the stance. So that was fun utility as well, but it's gone. I don't know. And then you have stuff like, someone said, oh, 4-4 though. Not gonna lie, an Eddy main told me, not gonna lie, it doesn't seem very good, but did you see 4-4? That move is fucking insane. Because on counter hit, it's a natural and it's a heat engager. And it's safe on block. And you're like, oh. But then you realize you can do that. Or look at this. Doesn't this look like it should hit when I step right? I do a tiny step. But it has like no tracking. So if you know what you're doing against Eddy, like you have so much counterplay. And again, yeah, handstand, there's less you can do. Relax mix-up has been nerfed. Relax in general has a standing hitbox. It's no longer an AOP. You know what I think? Or someone said, like, but did you see 4-4-3-4? That move blows everything up. And it's like, yeah, but it has like no tracking at all. Zero tracking. What I think they were... My guess is they were really afraid of releasing potentially another super OP DLC character. And they know how much everyone is annoyed by Eddy. My guess is they were like, be careful about this character, tone it down. We don't need more negative criticism right now. We can't take anymore. And to be honest, this patch was so bad that I'm like, I think Eddy came out good. I dislike so many decisions with this patch that when I see this character, I'm like, oh, this is like a Tekken 7 character. There's clear counterplay. And I'm like, nice. Good job. I like this. Good. But so yeah, Eddy seems kind of mediocre, in my opinion. Still has back 3-3 though, which is a 13 frame Twitch confirm. This is good. You see someone press into it and you add that and it's like, nice. Oh, and before I end this recording, you know how Kazuya is the only character right now with a 13 frame while standing punish? And then Eddy joins and he has a 13 frame while standing punish. Yes and no. When you see me use it like this, you'll see there on the frame data that it comes out at 13. Even if I put it all the way back here, 13, right? It's got a ton of reach. 13. 13. 13. But then you understand that, okay, there are a lot of good moves in this game that are minus 13 lows that you want to launch punish. But the problem is so many of them, and the best ones, they actually recover crouching. I can show you Kazuya's down 1+2, but I want to show you the most important example straight away. The most important minus 13 in this move belongs to Man God Dragunov. Arguably the strongest character in the game. I think it's Fengwei, but Dragunov is pretty much right next to him. But some people think Dragunov is the strongest. So for example, when Dragunov does this, you really want it to hurt. Yes, so what is going on here? I'm right next to Dragunov's face, but it's coming out at 14, and Dragunov can now block it. So what is happening here? What is happening is that Eddy's while standing 1 has 2 active frames. 2 active frames. And even if I'm this far away, it hits on the first active frame at 13. But what happens on Dragunov's down 2 is that he has crouching status up until the second active frame. This move is a high, it's not a mid. So it hits on the second active frame at 14. So you'll never be able to punish this move with a launch. So Eddy, even though he has a while standing 13, you're relegated to doing what everyone else does. Something like this. Okay. Then we have another S tier character we have in Azucena. This is also really important. So the Azucena can choose to do something like damage 4. But this move. This is a very powerful low for Azucena. Very powerful. And here, you'll see that I completely whiff. I don't even connect with Azucena. Again, this is minus 13, but my punish does not work. And then we have an example like, where's Jin? Jin and Jin's Scourge, his all-powerful counter hit, the 22 frame Scourge. And here you'll go like, okay, good. That one is actually not minus 13, but this is minus 14, right? Again, it doesn't connect. Jin has crouching status. So again, you can't launch him for that. Instead, you are going to get punished. If you attempt this, you are going to be the one dying. So that doesn't work.
Get ready for the next battle.
Love the content.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, I cancelled it. Oh my fucking god. So here we have the same problem, right? I actually, so again, do you have a while standing 13 punish? Yes and no, but mostly I would say no, actually, because these are the most important while standing 13s in the game. And I actually, this is another S tier king. His most important low is forward neutral 2. This one I actually haven't even tried, but I would not be surprised if it doesn't work yet again. Here it actually works. So this is good for Eddy. This is super good. So here you can actually launch. But so yeah, with the 13 frame while standing punish, it's a yes and no. It's a yes and no. But yeah, I think... Oh, right. And I didn't talk about his tokens. Let's see. You see my little icon there under my health bar. It's at 0. It's grayed out. But let's say I land a hell sweep. He'll say Kung Lao. Kung Lao, we get 1. And then let's say I do a big combo. Oh, wait. I do. What was the combo again? This is the combo. Shipula Hora. I think that's Brazilian for whore on the beach. Oh no, sorry. Brazilian. I mean Greek. That's the language they speak. So whore on the beach. And now I have 2 tokens. Now I get access to a new attack from handstand. This move. It's a handstand hell sweep. So that's pretty interesting. But so yeah, but in short, this is Eddy. I think I gave you a pretty good understanding and run through of a character in this video. Has some cool stuff. Remains Eddy. He's a bit mashier if you want. He was mashier before, but you can actually do a staple combo and good mash. If you press the free button over and over, it'll do a sequence that, I shit you not, involves string into handstand, handstand string into relax, into hell sweep. I'm just mashing free. This actually acts as a combo as well. Mash free button. Oh well, but yeah, I just, in my opinion, it seems pretty mediocre, so he's not another S tier, in my opinion. But we'll see what time tells us. Thanks for listening to me. Have a great day. Take care.